are you? Oh, Jinx. I am good. I am really
Yeah.
good. How are you?
Oh, phenomenal. Crushing it. Monday morning. I love it. I know you're passionate about this topic because you messaged me yesterday and you were all fired up. Couldn't wait to talk about this one. I love it. I love fired up Coach D.
Yeah, I'm spicy today.
Good. Let's hear it. I want to hear it. What are we chatting about?
Yeah, you know what? I really wanted to dive into the topic of, well, yeah, we'll say, I like how you said that, the Instagram trainer or really the weekend trainer. Something that kind of bothers me about the fitness industry. You know what? Social media is great. The internet's great. You can learn a lot from it. But really anybody can see a movement, that we post on Instagram or you post online, you see it on the internet. Anyone can see a movement and copy it and do that movement and do that exercise. It's easy, but like, do you really know what's going on with that movement? So with that, kind of, there's
Well,
lots
hang
of.
on. Yeah. I want to chime in on that.
Yep.
So this is true. And I see this happening all the time now. Trainers posting movements on Instagram because they think they're cool or they're going to draw attention or whatever. My question or I would suppose many of those trainers, that's probably the first time they're even doing that movement.
Yeah.
Do you regularly and consistently do that movement? Have you proven concept of that movement, or are you just doing it because it's the newest thing that's happening on Instagram?
Right.
Have you or are you just, and listen, there are plenty of new trainers that are just getting into this, that are trying to make their mark. That's great. We're not talking about you. Do your thing. It's going to take time, but don't portray yourself as something that you're not, is my thing, right? So if you've got movements that you've done consistently with time and you've seen benefit from, and you've done it with others that they've seen benefit from, then yes, then support that movement. But most trainers haven't done that. Most trainers are posting things that they haven't done for long enough of a period of time and shown benefit from, to be able to say, do this with conviction, right? And the reason I know I'm so passionate about this, for example, is because for many years I did movements and they ended up damaging my body. And that's why I stopped for a while. I stopped training people altogether until I could put in the work and understand. And here's the problem is most organizations are still teaching people this and giving people their certifications based on these movements and these principles. We need to move on from this. And the good thing is there's a new movement of progressive trainers, progressive individuals who know differently and are showing people the better ways to do this, right? Yeah. And listen, the reality is too, in 5 or 10 years, you and I are going to be looking at this video and saying, oh, we know even better now, but that's because we've dedicated our lives and everything we do to learning, to experimentation, to becoming better. And if you're a coach, you have an obligation to do so.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, and I like that you said that. If you're just getting into it and you're doing your weekend course, no offense to that at all. Like if you're doing that and it's something that you love, that's great. But I really value intelligence. This is why I love our Hop 90 team. Like we're very smart coaches. We've, again, dedicated our lives to do this specifically. So it's just a difference in, experience at this point. And I take pride in that and like how far we've come. So yeah.
So let's talk about the one thing that angers you.
Well, there's lots that angers me, but no. I'm just kidding. Well, so you are the one that challenged me on this too. Banded pull-ups.
Yeah.
You're like, don't do banded pull-ups. Like that's the worst thing you could do. And I was just like, okay, well, wait a second.
Whoa. There's worse things you can do.
Yeah.
right? Let's put
Yeah,
it.
I was doing banded pull-ups because that's, you know, what I saw. That's kind of what I've learned over the years. But yeah, you saying like don't do that. I was just like, okay. And yeah, I wasn't progressing at all, like when I was doing banded pull-ups.
So you just nailed it. You just nailed it. I
Yeah.
will challenge any trainer to come on and show me the results that you've gotten from people using banded pull-up. You show me the tens and hundreds of people that you've gotten to do chin-ups and become proficient in the movement by using bands to help you get the pull-up. And you know what we mean by, like, they wrap the band around the bar and they lower it and they put their foot around it or their knee around it and then they start to pull. Show me all the people that you've helped get chin-ups doing that way. If you don't, if you haven't, why are you doing it?
Right.
Right?
Just getting sweaty.
Well, okay. And if you're not getting the results, then you have an obligation to seek a better way. And yes, there was a long time ago where I thought doing banded pull-ups were the way to go, just like most of the trainers out there now. I see it all the time. Then the question I had was, well, this isn't working.
Right.
There must be a better way. So I sought out a better way. And then you start to understand the strength curve of the chin-up and why the band doesn't make sense. Why, in fact, the band could be prohibiting you from getting a chin-up, in fact, and not helping you, right? It works against the strength curve of the chin-up, not with it, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you know, these Instagram trainers who are just posting cool videos on Instagram, I mean, they won't be successful, right? They will get sought out because at the end of the day, results are currency for us.
Yeah.
And if you're not producing results for your clients, you're not going to last very long. You won't be successful in this industry, right? So that's what we pride ourselves on, is to do everything within our power and to be constantly learning and improving. And listen, if someone finds an even better way to help people, for example, get chin-ups, I'm open. Come share it with me. I'd love to see it. Show me the results. Show me what's working for you. But as of right now, I mean, we've gone back. We've looked at the science. We've created protocols that work, that are producing results, that are getting people chin-ups that never thought they would get a chin-up.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's it's a fundamental aspect of human movement. And like in the history of the world, no one has ever said, nah, I don't want to get a chin-up. What do you mean you don't want to get a chin-up? Like, right. Why do you not want to have the ability to pull yourself up to something? I think that's kind of important, right? But it used to be it was important for our survival as a species, right? If a predator is attacking us, you have to be able to pull yourself up into a tree, right? Over a ledge to get food. But unfortunately, our lives have been so comfortable that we don't have to do that. And, you know, we've lost that connection with ourselves, but I think it's an important one, you know?
Oh, 100%. And then I guess just getting those strength gains, like obviously that's an accomplishment that feels good, but it's translating to, you know, bone density, but even like mobility, the chin up, you know, working the mobility of the upper body and strength of the upper body. So, but it translates to bone density and so many other good things in the body. So like, yeah, why wouldn't you want to do it?
Yeah. You know,
chin up.
I think there's a gentleman named Tudor Bompa who's considered the godfather of periodization, who said strength is the mother of all qualities, right? Okay. And you know, in terms of, we talk about this in the course, in terms of so muscle is the organ of longevity, in terms of quality of life, in terms of your ability to dispose of glucose, of insulin sensitivity, hormonal imbalance. You must strength train. You must. It's a fundamental aspect of being human. But the interesting thing is the development of strength properly and safely without sacrificing joint health, without doing all these things. That is an art and a science that I've been pursuing for decades. And there are not a lot of individuals in the world, I believe, that have really, that are at the forefront of this. And, oh, careful, coach.
Fired up.
I get it. But it's a challenging thing to do. And again, this is why my argument against most trainers just default to making people tired and sweaty, because it's a hard thing to understand. It's a hard thing to master. And listen, as an industry, even those most progressive thinkers, I think we're still just scratching the surface of what we know, just to put it all in perspective. So I don't want to sit here and say that we have all the answers, but I think we're doing a better job than most.
Oh yeah,
right?
For sure. So to bring it back to the chin up, because I wanted to talk to you about, like, obviously there's the banded way, but then there's the assisted pull-up machine, everything at the gym too. But I guess talking about, why not do that versus the way that we do it? So body weight mainly, and stuff like that. But just the alignment of when you're pulling up and how that band puts you in a different alignment, and the machines as well, the assisted machine in the gym. Yeah, just how that doesn't really translate to an actual chin up.
Yeah, so I mean, could it? Maybe. It might, maybe, but probably not in most cases, right? And I think back to this example when commercial gyms were open and working, there would be this one female there who would always be doing the band for chin-ups. And I made the mistake of one day of saying, hey, I always see you work in the band. Do you mind if I give you some advice? And she got upset with me and walked away. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, people don't want to hear it. So
at least you asked if she wanted.
Yeah, I did. And then the next day she came back and kept using her band, and I saw her for years, and she never got any closer. It was the same band, never got any closer to a chin up, which is unfortunate. But you named a couple things. So yes, you're absolutely right. It will. First of all, it's dangerous and awkward with the band, right?
Like slingshots you sometimes.
Yeah, I've literally seen people get hurt using it. It's no serious injuries, thankfully. You're right. It changes the alignment, your body's alignment, because it's pulling you out of the proper alignment that we want. And then the other piece, specifically with the band, it works against the strength curve of the muscle. So it helps you the most where you need it the least, and the least where you need it the most.
Yes.
Right? It's actually detraining your chin up. Yeah, it's altering the strength curve. It's not an ideal way to do that at all, in my opinion. I would suppose that the assisted chin-up machine is probably a step above the bands, but I've always found those things to be super awkward too.
Yeah, like you put your knees on them with the I don't know.
Yeah, again, probably taking you out of the correct alignment as well. Honestly, I've just never really used the assisted chin-up machine because I've always found it so awkward.
Right.
So the better way to do it is to understand the strength curve and to work with it using techniques like we use in the program: isometric holds, focusing on eccentrics, foot assisted work, all of these things, and done so in the proper periodized manner. You just understand where people are at in their progression, and you work with them in that phase to progress them through where their weak points are, right? The reality is that some of that is going to be individualized, because some people may have their weakness in the bottom, their weakness in the top, or both, and you're going to have to work with that individual to create a program that works for them, right? So I'd love to give you the one-size-fits-all answer here, but unfortunately there really isn't one. But that's probably also what makes it really effective, right?
Yeah. So then, and then going back to the band, so obviously, so when you're up at the bar here, that's generally where people are the weakest, generally.
Yeah, they're always going to be weakest in their end ranges, right?
Yeah,
so
and that's where the band helps release.
And the very bottom of the movement. So those are the two spots where they're going to be weakest.
Right, yeah. So, and then too, like dialing it back to kind of what we say, you know, if you do something, you're going to get good at that. So if you do a pull-up with a band, you're going to be good at doing pull-ups with a band.
Yeah. I'm super good at pull-ups with bands.
Yeah. Yeah. So just start by not using a band at all. How about that?
Yeah, you know what's interesting. Good morning, Michelle. Yeah, there's a friend of mine who messaged me recently, and he said, "Hey, I saw your," because I did a post about this a while back, and he was like, "Hey, I saw your post about bands," and he actually goes to a very progressive strength gym, and he showed me the website. They're doing really good things there. And he said, "But man, now it really bothers me because they always have us doing pull-ups with bands." Well, I said, "Well, ask them why," and he did, and their answer was, what was their answer? Well, it's a way to work the lats for people that can't do pull-ups. And I was like, yeah, okay, I guess so, but there's better ways. Right? I just think there's far better ways. I don't see a case for using banded pull-ups. I just don't. And I'd love to be convinced otherwise. So if you've got a reason, shoot me a note. Let's have the conversation. But until then, we'll keep doing our way because it seems to work really well. And we've gotten people who I just go on the page, go on my, I'm sure I've got them on my Instagram page. They're on the Move Strong Instagram page, where people who've gotten their first chin up and gotten it on video, and you know it's legit because you can see their face. And the coolest part is every one of those that I've posted have been people that have said to me, either during the process or after the process, that have said, you know, I never really actually believed that I could get a chin up. And that's a big part of it too, is the mindset component, to believe that you can do it. Because when you believe something, you'll start training with more intention, right?
Right. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember I could do like one chin up, and then I'm at like progress. I'm at like 4 or 5.
Yeah, but let's but legit chin-ups. We're not talking about partial range. When we talk about chin-ups, full lockout at the bottom, full passive hang, to starting to engage the scapula, to pull all the way up, chest touches the bar, and that is necessary if you want to pursue the muscle up, right?
Yeah.
If you cannot get your chest to the bar, you will not get a muscle up. And I'm not talking about the bullshit kipping muscle ups. If you can't do a strict muscle up, in my opinion, you have no business kipping.
Right.
Right?
This sounds like another talk. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but listen, my view is that if you cannot do a strict muscle up, you're kipping into a muscle up, you're putting yourself at risk. You're putting yourself in harm's way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're just learning a movement pattern that's not necessarily the most efficient, most effective, and safe. So you're going to get better at doing those same movement patterns. So yeah.
It's a higher risk movement to kip into a muscle up. If you've got the mechanics to be able to do a strict muscle up and then you want to work on a kipping muscle up, perfect. But otherwise, I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's safe. But if I'm not training you, do what you want.
Yeah. Touche. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you want to go back to talking about the Instagram trainers?
Yeah. Do we? Yeah. I mean, I guess, again, bringing it back to, I mean, education, passion, whatnot. You know, I love like the biomechanics, like thinking about, how the body moves and thinking about the kinetic chains in the body and how everything's connected. You know, there's certain people that understand that. And I just hope that those that do really value fitness and health and wellness and holistic health to seek out people who have that more, that have that knowledge and passion towards movement and moving correctly and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think as a coach, and again, no disrespect meant to the new coaches or the weekend coaches, you know, you guys are welcome. We love you in the industry. But
come hang out with us. Come hang out with us.
yeah, but I mean, I take coaching very seriously, and I believe that you know, when someone entrusts you with their health, is there anything more valuable that they could entrust you with? So you have an obligation to dedicate. The rule of thumb, and I believe this is from Charles Poliquin, the rule of thumb is 25% of your time goes into learning and education and experimentation, right? And if you're not doing that, then I don't know that this is for you.
Right.
Right? Maybe you need to seek a different career where you're fine just being mediocre. You're fine just being okay at your job, because I'm not okay with that. And I know none of the coaches on our team are. That's why we do the things that we do. We're constantly learning. We're constantly sharing information, asking questions. We're not accepting status quo, is because we want to be the best and we want the best for our clients. And if you're a trainer and you're not doing those things, you can say that you want the best for your clients. It's just lip service. You're not actually, if you're not doing the things, then you don't actually mean that. And that I'm not okay with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, that just brings it back to maybe certain people are okay with where they are, and that's perfectly fine. You know, like we will attract the people that are our people, and that's what we want. But
yeah. And listen, if that's what you're fine with, then just acknowledge it. Don't portray yourself as something that you're not, right?
Right.
Yeah, just be careful on Instagram. And we've seen that now where, you know, I think a great example was when COVID hit and all the gyms shut down. And now all of a sudden these trainers all became at-home, no equipment experts. And like, I admire the fact that you want to pivot and adapt. I admire the fact that you're willing to change and find a better way. But listen, you're not an expert, right? So let's just be clear about that. You know, and that was something that was that had always bothered me here. Yeah, Holly, absolutely. 25% of the time, learning is huge in so many aspects of our lives. Game changers, having the knowledge and info to give your clients to benefit. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. In all areas of your life, you should be dedicating that time. My opinion is, you know, self-development is the ultimate expression of gratitude and love for self. Right? We'll never exceed our level of self-development. We think somehow we're going to magically rise to our goals. We think somehow we're magically going to become a better trainer if we're not putting in that additional work and knowledge and research and experimentation and doing the things ourselves. We're just going to wake up one day and poof, be better.
We'll be the guinea pigs.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Same thing. Like Holly mentioned, in your career, same thing in your personal life. You know, if you're not putting the work into your nutrition, if you're not putting the work into your relationships, you think they're just going to magically get better?
Right.
You think all those issues that you're having are going to go away?
You have to do the things. Just do it, June.
Yeah, just do it, June. Exactly. Yeah. Well, we've been all over the place in this one here. I know you wanted to talk about banded pull-ups, but
no, I'm getting lots of ideas of other talks that we can do from this conversation itself. But
yeah,
it was like an umbrella, you know, thought. There's lots that we can talk about
sure.
this. But yeah, mainly the chin-up, banded chin-ups. I was that. No, I'm passionate about that because you essentially challenged me that at the beginning when I started working with you for the Hop 90. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we need to get that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, if your trainer or your gym is having you do banded pull-ups, ask them why, and ask them, have you gotten good results from this? And if you have, show me.
Right.
Show me all the people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm curious. And then send me a note, send me the videos, send me the results, because then you'll change my mind. I'd love to see it.
There we go. I like that. Okay, I'll put it out there. See what happens.
Yeah, and I think, we as trainers should have our people challenge us a little more.
Yeah.
Ask for references. Ask for results. Prove it to me. Prove to me that you're good, right? Mm-hmm. This is your health. Why not take that a little more seriously? I mean, if not, then and find a trainer that doesn't have the experience and doesn't have the results, but then, compensate accordingly, I would say, right? And if you want results, if you do want great training and great results, then also compensate accordingly too, right? You get what you pay for.
Yes.
So we've invested a lot into ourselves. We've put in the time, we've put in the work, and we want to do that because we want to be considered the best, absolute best in the industry. When our goal as a team, outside of changing 10,000 people's lives, is that when anyone asks, who is the best at nutrition, who is the best at movement, who is the best at helping people get optimal health, we want them, the Hop 90 crew. Just go work with them, right?
Love it.
That's got to be, that's our main goal.
Exactly. And we've been doing our own programming, our own training. So yeah, throughout this whole pandemic, obviously I've been training at home because the gyms are locked down, whatever. And from my doorway chin-up bar, I've progressed to 5 chin-ups. So that's helped me too, just through the pandemic and getting an accomplishment. It feels good. So yeah.
And also living authentically, right? That's the other thing that absolutely drives me nuts, and we should do another chat about that. These trainers who are posting images of themselves from years ago, or I get it. Everyone goes through ups and downs and rough times and all of that stuff, but trainers, coaches, you're leaders, and you got to authentically be leading from the front. That means 2 things to me. That means, 1, you must have coaches, right? So we all have coaches on the team. And 2, you must do the things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And our team is doing things, and our team's improving, and our team's getting better. And as we get better, we can share how to get better as well, right? So, and like I said, our program's constantly evolving as we research and we experiment and we do the things. And look, I mean, now Coach Dee's talking from a much stronger place of confidence now that she's working through 5 full range chin-ups as opposed to 1 chin-up, right? That's a drastic accomplishment. That's a huge change, right?
I'm ready to do this. Wait, no, not yet. I don't know.
No, it's impressive, Coach. That's a drastic jump to.
Yeah, I'm ready with chin-ups like this, pull-ups getting wider. It's a lot more difficult.
Correct. So I don't know. If anyone has questions or stuff that they want us to specifically talk about, specific movements or training modalities, philosophies, any of that stuff, drop it in the comments, and we'll do that.
Let us know. Let us know if you want us to talk about something specific, because we are ready.
Yeah, fired up. Awesome.
Okay.
All right, Coach.
Did we cover everything?
Time to wrap it up. Let's do it. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Incredible. Have a good day. All right, take care.